up. That's because, ladies and gentlemen, I just woke up.
Yeah.
I
was starting to get a little squirrely over here.
I just got in the door not too long ago. For those that are new to the show and maybe be unaware, I take a lot of drugs to fall asleep. I have lots of pains that keep me from falling asleep. And I am not somebody who wakes up naturally on those days. And so my alarm, beep, dee, 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 wakes me up. However, when you change your alarm so that you're getting up earlier, but you forget to go click and set the alarm save, and it doesn't go off, and you roll over and you go, oh, it's 10:38, and it takes you an hour to get into the studio.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happens.
You made it in with about, well, I mean, it was like 25 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because I did like 78 on the way here. Thankfully, everybody was abiding by my traffic laws.
There we go.
And which is get the bleep out of my
Move,
way.
B, get out the way.
I didn't have too many, although on I-5, I did have somebody who wanted to do 60 in the fast lane.
Ooh.
Going past the 217 on-ramp. There's always somebody there as you start to go up the hills, like they forget that going up the hill means you have to put your foot down.
Yes.
I don't know how we're still at that stage where going up a hill means, yes, you need to put your foot down.
Funny how that works, huh? Yeah. There's a similar spot on 26 coming in as you pass Murray and you're coming up towards 217. And yeah, it goes uphill a little bit there. And it all just slows down. The right lane's always slow because people get over the last second to get it on 217. But even the middle and the left lane slow down considerably.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you. It is bowl week here. We didn't do a lot of bowling yesterday because it's our first day back and we had a lot. And to be honest, we have a lot today before getting into too many bowls. Tomorrow we will be bowl heavy. That will be the lead into, obviously, the college football playoffs, the New Year's Six, as we will not be here on Monday.
Correct.
For New Year's Day. So we will get you primed and ready for those. Today, selfishly, we will talk about USC and Louisville, even though both Jeff and I both picked against USC in our mustache bet. I'm willing to bet Dusty did too.
I think I'm still an 0 for my Pac-12 picks, by the way. It's not going well for me.
Yeah, I'm struggling too because I picked Boise State against UCLA. We do have another bowl game that we will talk about today that is on tonight, Arizona, Oklahoma. I did pick Arizona.
Yes, I believe I did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Yeah. I'm feeling okay about that one.
I need to fade Jeff here just so I can create some distance.
Exactly.
This is terrible. I don't like where this is heading.
Well, and tomorrow when we start the Sun Bowl will be underway as well. Oregon State and Notre Dame.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
This is bowl season.
Yes.
Before it was the tasters.
It's like once you hit Christmas, then you start to get some decent bowl games.
The pre-Christmas is the charcuterie board.
Yes.
Now we're like, you can smell the ham.
Well, and it's the charcuterie board that has like generic Ritz crackers and spray cheese and
summer sausage,
Lunchable meat.
Yeah. Not like the charcuterie board on the wood with a spread of jam and figs.
We'll just call it the Lunchable.
Yeah, there you go. It's the Lunchable.
Yeah.
The week of Christmas is the charcuterie board.
There we go.
All right.
Some of your finer meats
kiddie
and
snacks are gone. Now we're bringing out the good stuff.
Yes.
And then obviously New Year's Day and leading up to is the big old ham. How was your Christmas, man? Speaking of hams.
Not bad.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just, Christmas. Lots of presents for the kids, that kind of stuff.
How many different boozes did you get?
Actually, just really wasn't much of a present. Yeah.
Do people not know you?
Yeah, right. Exactly. No kidding. I think they do. That's the problem.
Oh, they're saying, no, you don't need it.
You don't need it.
anymore.
You're doing just fine. Nah, I kid.
Yikes. Yeah. That's mildly problematic.
How about for you?
Twas good. I mentioned yesterday I didn't sports very hard on Christmas Day until later in the day because the in-laws like to keep things traditional. But I didn't get much this year. That was by design. Both my parents and my in-laws are fantastic, and they always love to do nice stuff for us. my parents instead are buying blinds for our house.
Oh, there we go.
And like, that's how I know I'm cooked.
Yeah.
Like I'm just, new blinds was like, yeah, I like this.
See, you know what? What's weird is that we get to this age and you're like, hey, you know what? That just means that I don't have to go spend money on it. So that's fantastic.
It was, and my dad's like, I'll come over and measure. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do everything? Even better.
Yeah.
They asked what we wanted. I'm like, honestly, stuff for the house. So beyond that, a family friend is, we have this. So our living room is actually huge. It's like our living room and our kitchen make up probably 2/3 of the house, maybe more. Our house isn't that big. It's like 1,300 square feet. A little ranch home, but our living room is monstrous. And it goes right into the kitchen, which is also monstrous.
Yeah.
And our bedrooms are, well, half the size of the studio.
Gotcha.
So it's like, what happened here?
That's how they built them back in the day.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't spend any time in here. So like our bed takes up 85% of the bedroom. It's kind of funny. But in the living room, there is one of the, like the house was built, I want to say it was 52. So it's an older house.
Right.
It has like the biggest, most obnoxious fan imaginable. And it hangs like, if I was 6'5", I would hit my head on this thing.
Yikes.
Like it just and so it takes up the whole freaking room, like, because it hangs so low.
Right.
And it's ugly as sin. And normally when my wife says, I don't like this, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I care. I hate this thing.
Yeah.
So the thing that I asked for was, hey, if you can help us, because the house was built in 52, the crawl space, and this is not even like a I'm fat thing. The small child can't fit in our crawl space.
Gotcha.
Like it's like the actual like cutout to get in. I could lose every ounce of fat on my body. I'm not fitting through.
Yeah.
Like my shoulders are too wide to get. I'm like, were they smuggling tiny people?
That was back when child labor was still okay.
Right? So I have to cut a hole in the side of my house up top above the carport so that I can have an entry into the crawl space.
Gotcha.
Like that's the only way we can get in.
Right.
And I'm like, well, like I could grab a Sawzall and do that, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
So family friend's going to do that, and we're going to rip that stupid fan out, and then we're going to put some sunken can
there you
lighting in there.
Yeah.
But again, blinds, lighting.
Yeah.
I anchored a big old giant painting in the living room, so we look fancy now.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
You
So
got art.
well, I do, my mother-in-law's an artist.
Okay.
And we already have like two, like when I say pieces of art, I mean like massive paintings. That, like, have you ever seen like real paintings, like the
like dogs playing poker.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like the way they're framed, they weigh like 100 pounds.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's no, like you can't you don't get the little hook and you like hang it in the drum. No, no, you have to anchor this stupid thing.
Right.
Put the wire on it, level it. So it's like it's a whole process. But now we have 3 of those hanging in the house. So it's like we have like between my wife and the paintings, they represent the class.
Gotcha.
I bring it down so much.
Yeah.
So much.
That's kind of how it usually goes.
Well, it's funny because those paintings are right outside my studio. The temporary one in the house, and it's a disaster. So it's like my wife, and then me, disaster. So it's really an allegory for life.
There we go.
So but yeah, that's the gist of the holidays now for me, and birthdays, and anytime anybody asks me for something, it's like, I don't know, honey, what do you want?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
But I got the cool uncle stamp this holiday.
Very nice.
I got him his first basketball shoes.
Ooh.
And he got geeked.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my own basketball shoes. What he doesn't know is that I went through 7 or 8 pairs in 3 different stores before I finally found them in his size and color.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Turns out the old 3, which is like the difference between the preschool and youth, like the transition size, not all that common.
Right. Yeah. No kidding, huh?
So
yeah.
It was week before last. I remember on Monday, I was like, I need to get my Christmas shopping done.
Yes.
I went to the mall and I went to 3 different stores.
Man.
And I was, how about this one?
Nope.
This one, the guy's just sitting there scanning the barcodes over and over again. I'm like, how about the plain basic white or black one? Let's go. He's like, actually, I have that one. I'm like, all right. And I almost took the, my defeat almost led me down the path of getting him his first pair of Jordans.
Ooh.
But I'm like, he's 5.
Yeah.
I want to wait till like double that age.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
let's go at 10.
Yeah.
I'm not above buying little kid Jordans.
Right.
When my wife and I have the kid,
Yeah.
probably going to have little baby J's.
There you go.
It's going to be obnoxious and
Yes.
the most spoiled child on the face of the planet. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it because I'm going to be a bougie dad. And it's going to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I spend all that money and go, why did I do that? I'll be the cheapest dad on the face of the planet.
Yes.
I'm sure that's something that all first-time dads go through.
Well, you gotta pick your poisons. You gotta
Right.
figure out where you want to throw the dough and where you want to keep it tight.
And then you realize diapers cost $700 a month, and you go,
Man, and you're not kidding. It's bad. Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what the number one most requested present was this year? Diapers.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Diapers was the most requested present this year.
Yeah. I remember going through them like crazy. And
That's
the worst part was,
insane.
you'd be like right after you change them and 5 minutes later, it's like, damn
Blow
it,
out.
again.
I have that same problem. So, not in the pants, but sometimes I'm like, oh God, 5 minutes later again.
Really?
Oh, speaking of things going crappy, Miami and Mario Cristobal down 14-0 to Rutgers.
you hate
Speaking
to
of
see
bowl season, yikes, dog. We will not be starting with Rutgers Miami.
New.
What we will be starting is something local, and well, it's me. So we're going basketball right out of the gate. We get Scoot versus Wemby. Right out of the gate. What are we looking forward to as the Blazers take on the San Antonio Spurs here tonight in Portland on Danny and Dusty, 1080 The Fan? We are bowl heavy because the whole show is going to be bowling.
Yes.
We got a little bit of NFL to talk, but otherwise, I mean, we got Miami, Baltimore, which we'll talk about a little bit today, I think. But we have what was supposed to be one of the big rookie matchups of the season happening tonight.
Yes.
Here in Portland. First of all, Victor Wembanyama has been said by the Spurs is not going to play in both of these games.
Right.
They're playing a home baseball series, San Antonio tonight and tomorrow night. Victor Wembanyama is currently not on the injury report, so the assumption is he will play tonight and not tomorrow night.
Right.
Which is mildly unfortunate for me because I was hoping it would be the other way around because Oregon is playing USC in basketball and I was going to head down to Eugene to go watch Isaiah Collier and get a little look at him before the NBA draft because either that or I got to go down on Saturday and watch him play against Oregon State. So anyways, this is a woe is me situation. Right. But we do get the matchup of the number 1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, and Portland Trailblazers Scoot Henderson. Now, I have seen more than a few people say that Scoot's done, like he's not him, blah, 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 blah. And Dusty and I and Sprague and I have prefaced this through all of the entire preparatory period leading up to this season.
Yes.
Teenage rookie point guards suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like, even the ones that were good.
Yeah. There's going to be lots of growing pains.
They sucked.
Yeah.
Like it's just, that is how all this kind of comes out. What's interesting is Scoot caught his fire at this time last year in Las Vegas against Victor Wembanyama. Mm-hmm. Remember him taking on Victor and his French team Metro, both Victor and Bilal Coulibaly, who just played against the Trailblazers with the Washington Wizards. The interesting thing here is that people keep calling me during the show, which is mildly problematic. But the interesting thing here is that can this be a springboard opportunity for Scoot Henderson? The last couple of games, you started to see him do a little bit more, and you're like, "Oh, there he is. There's the old Scooter."
Yeah,
and he's not going to run away and be this rookie of the year candidate. Mm-hmm. We always talked about it coming into this year. It was going to be Cheddar Wemby,
right?
Cheddar Wemby. That's
because they're the most ready for it.
Chet's in his second year.
Yeah.
Technically. He had a redshirt year where he got to chill and learn how the process of the NBA and the speed and go through practices and like people, I don't think they genuinely understand how helpful that is.
Yeah.
It's a massive, massive deal to get that under the belt. And then you get a guy like Jaime Jaquez from Miami, who's having a very good year, but he's also 22, almost 23 years old.
Yes.
Significantly more experience.
And Heat fans aren't letting you hear the end of it.
Oh God, they don't stop. They're relentless, and I'm just like, that's cool.
It's great. Good for you guys.
Good for you. Enjoy Jaime Jaquez. The stylings of Jaime Jaquez Jr. entirely fine.
Yeah, still would not have been enough return.
No, so stop. But Scoot Henderson is starting to show a bit more understanding.
Yes,
and I'm wondering. He seems like I don't know. I want to credit the writer here, but I want to say it was Quick. Wrote about an article about Anthony Simons earlier this year about how early in his career, there were nights when he would go home and he would break down and cry about not knowing if he could make it.
Right.
And I know that.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked to Ant about this stuff. Like the Carmelo Anthony season, he went through it, man.
Yeah.
He went through it.
Well, I feel like in Ant's first couple of years, now granted, we are terribly early in Scoot's tenure here. But I feel like in Ant's couple of years, he
struggled.
Well, he struggled, but I feel like they wouldn't throw him out and just let him fail like Chauncey is doing with Scoot, where he needs to learn some things.
Yes.
It felt like early on, if
there was a lot more guardrails because they were,
he would get, they were a better team. Yanked a lot sooner.
They were a better team.
Yes.
That was the thing, is like, that was a competitive team. It's like, all right, let's change the bait.
Yeah.
See if it hits.
Exactly.
If he has a night, all right.
Yeah.
But if he went out there and it fell to the bottom, they were reeling it back in. That was it. That's Terry.
Yeah.
Because Terry wasn't going to do that. Chauncey has the full support of the front office when it comes to developing these guys.
Right.
And I think he's doing the right thing. They tried to start Scoot for the beginning of the year to bring him in, to allow him to be that guy as a number 3 overall pick. I think the pushback certainly is that he didn't earn it.
Right.
And on this team, when you had Shaedon Sharpe, who already had to go through that stuff and was already a better player, and Anthony Simons, who's clearly the best player on the team, the pushback was, let's not. And then he picks up the injury, he's out for 3 weeks, and it allows them to reset. And what I'm wondering about tonight against Wembanyama is, does Scoot see this as a chip on his shoulder moment? Because when the spotlight has been on him previously in the NBA, he has struggled. I mean, those first handful of games before he rolled the ankle, but it was tough.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I mentioned this yesterday, I asked him what he's starting to recognize sooner now when he's got the ball in his hand. He took a second and he was like, when defenses are loading up. And when he said that, I was like, so things are starting to slow down for you. Because if you can recognize that, you know you can't attack that, and you need to either swing it or you need to be able to find another way to attack it.
Right.
And the biggest criticism I've heard from his opponents so far has been he doesn't know what he's doing, when he's doing, how he's doing it. Doesn't have a plan.
Right.
I wonder if knowing what Victor is, because he's faced him, and having a little bit more of a plan, if tonight is a night where he can find a little more of that groove.
Yeah.
Last game, 17 points, 11 assists, 1 turnover. That 1 turnover was very bad. It was very bad. It was a terrible pass. It happens. That's what you chalk up to rookie mistakes.
Right.
But the shot selection, the finishing around the rim, taking a guy off the bounce, the aggressiveness, showing the athleticism, something Chauncey Billups has just beat the drum of over and over and over again, that's starting to appear more and more and more. It's not an every night thing. It's not an every possession thing.
Right.
But it is something that is appearing regularly now. The question is, can you get it to appear more regularly?
Yeah.
Can you get it to appear more regularly in the moments that matter? And
that's where it's about baby steps.
yes, and you're hoping it's not 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Right.
You're hoping it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Right.
1 step back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about rookies. Like, if you take a look at right now, just to show the difference, over the last 5 games, Chet Holmgren is averaging 26, 3, and 3. That last 3 is blocks in under 30 minutes a game. Chet's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
It's done.
Right.
He's also probably going to make an all-defensive team as technically a rookie. Wembanyama is averaging 13, 8, 5, and 4. That's 5 assists and 4 blocks.
Wow.
The shooting is down, though. Shooting 42% from the field, 27% from 3, and 60% from the line.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the ups and downs, even with somebody generational like Victor Wembanyama.
Right.
Go back and look at Braun's rookie year. He had a great rookie year. But it wasn't the most efficient. You have to learn.
Right.
And the big question I have right now is, what does that look like for Scoot? What does something remotely consistent look like for him? Is it being a guy? The line that I set for him this year was 11 and 5.
Okay.
11 points, 5 assists. I thought if things went really well, like 13 and 6.5. I was like, that'd be a great season. And I thought the assists would be more prolific than the scoring, which we've seen him now have multiple double-digit assist nights.
Yes.
Coming off the bench, which one of them comes in garbage time, but he does have an innate ability to set people up.
Right.
That is in his skill set. And you're starting to see that become more and more prolific. And I think that's the interesting thing that's going to come out of this game tonight is, do we see the guy that we saw in that showcase game in Las Vegas last year? Because if you do, it's kind of a boon.
Right.
And if you don't, well, you know what the season has been already.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm looking to see if this is a time where he go, and I'm not talking about forcing it.
Right.
But I mean the aggressiveness.
Well, because he's letting the game, it's slowing down for him a little
bit. And he has said that it's reps.
Yeah.
And that's the drum that we have beat so much.
Yeah.
It's just like, guys, it literally takes thousands of these. And I'm not kidding. That's not hyperbole. It takes thousands of these reps.
And so he's starting to see the flow of the game better and better figure out how to work within the flow of the game.
Yes. And having some familiarity, like, until you've seen Vic, I had him at Summer League. Mm-hmm. You can't quantify what that dude is.
Right.
It's unreal.
I mean, it's got fingers the length of my forearm.
Jeff, you're not wrong. He's
a freak of nature.
I was standing next to him and I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's like they had a I saw a picture over the weekend of it was a jersey swap of Wemby and then
Bedard.
It was a Bedard
for the Blackhawks.
And somebody made the comment of how, with Wemby standing behind the jersey, it looked like somebody was hiding behind the jersey and Wemby standing on standing on a chair behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it looked like that ridiculous.
Vincent Adultman.
Yes.
Very much. Yeah. Three kids in a trench coat kind of situation.
Exactly.
And
very little rascals.
Yes. And but Scoot has seen that before and actually dominated.
Yeah.
And it's going to be and that's what's so interesting is he's figured out or struggled to figure out how to finish around the rim. This is a guy who was finishing over Victor Wembanyama who has preternatural ability to deter and block shots.
Yeah. Well, I only caught about the first half of the game the other night against Sacramento, but it looked like he had some nice finishes around the rim.
He did. He had that reverse finish. It was his best finish of the year. Nate Jones, who works as an agent for Aaron Goodwin, as a marketing partner for Damian Lillard, he even said, this is his best finish this year.
Yeah.
And this is, if you're going to be a 6'2", 6'3" guard,
that's how
how you have to be able, you have to be able to finish like this.
Yeah.
Guys are so big, long, strong, physical that if you're 6'2", 6'3", you have to be special.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Dame's first couple years in the league, he was not a great finisher.
Right.
He was not. And so watching Scoot try to figure that stuff out and develop it and you see those signs of it, I think those are all the things. And I think if you bring it all together tonight, I really hope he has that comfortable night.
Yeah. Well, that was also, even with Dame in his rookie year, not finishing great because, again, he's adjusting to the speed of the game and especially coming from someplace like Weber State.
Hey, how dare you denigrate the Big Sky?
Yeah, well,
It's Big Sky basketball, not Big Sky football.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, USC has a major upset, and have they found their quarterback of their future going into the Big Ten? But first, here's the Big Kahuna Sports Center update.
You ever had a Big Kahuna burger?
This is College Bowl Week with Danny and Dusty.
Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Now, from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, some college football news. Junior defensive back Tysheem Johnson said this morning at a Fiesta Bowl press conference he will put off the NFL and is returning to Oregon for the 2024 season. Oregon defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoi says Jordan Birch and Jaleel Florence are both likely game-time decisions for Monday's Fiesta Bowl, and the Honolulu Civil Beat reports Oregon and Hawaii are in discussions to move 2024 season opener in Honolulu. Oregon State head coach Trent Bray has announced the hiring of Keith Hayward as defensive coordinator, returning to his alma mater where he played cornerback from 1997 to 2000. Hayward has also previously held coaching positions at both Oregon State and Oregon. And we got a barn burner opening Week 17 in the NFL on Thursday Night Football. Jets at the Browns, 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Joe Flacco and those Browns are 7.5-point favorites. NFL Network reporting the Vikings will start rookie Jaron Hall under center Sunday night against the Packers, with Nick Mullins heading to the bench. And on the hard court, the Trailblazers open up a home back-to-back with the Spurs before hitting the road for a 7-game trip. Portland 4.5-point favorites in the 7 o'clock tip on Root Sports. DeAndre Ayton, Shaden Sharp, both out for Portland. Victor Wembanyama not on the injury report for San Antonio. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ at the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk. Get in the game at Spirit Mountain Casino. Watch and wager with our sports book powered by BetMGM. Learn more at spiritmountain.com.
The original home of the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays 9 to noon, 1080 The Fan.
top, Jeff Frost.
Yeah, doing great in my Pac-12 bowl pick'ems.
I picked against my beloved Trojans. I picked Louisville as well because it looked like it was going to be scarce for USC as far as who was going to play. Obviously, Heisman Trophy winning number 1 overall pick prospect Caleb Williams not playing. A whole horde of running backs not playing. A whole horde of wide receivers not playing. 4 defensive starters leaving in the transfer portal. You're like, oh, let's see. But Miller Moss, one of the better backup quarterbacks in the country. He was the number 15 quarterback of the 2021 recruiting class. Every time he's gotten on the field for USC, it's been like, oh, he is really good, but he's just not Caleb Williams good. Taj Washington, who is going to go to the NFL, did come back for the game, and he figured handedly in this game. 7 catches, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
2 of Miller Moss's 6 touchdown passes, a bowl record.
Yeah, Holiday
Bowl.
Holiday Bowl record,
Yes.
and I believe also a USC bowl record.
Yes. Not too bad. 23 of 33 for 372 and 6 tutties.
Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
The more interesting thing here is that Jack Plummer of Louisville went 21 of 25 for $141. But Louisville did run for 220 yards.
Yes.
On 45 carries. So it's just under 5 yards carry.
Right.
But this is a USC team that came together.
Yeah.
And I know this is going to sound a certain way from me, certainly, but I didn't expect this performance.
No.
They played complementary football. They weren't always looking for the home run, although Miller Moss did hit some absolute home runs, finding Deuce Robinson behind coverage for 44 yards on a touchdown.
Said that, I think basically his first touchdown was a touchdown pass was a catch and run.
Yep.
The last 5 were all either throws in the end zone or on a clear path to the end zone.
Yes. And it's essentially working the ball down the field, just playing football.
Yep.
And they're considering the turmoil, because it's not chaotic. It's not chaotic at USC, but there is turmoil.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure things out. Is Miller Moss the quarterback going forward? Are they going to bring a transfer in? There have been rumors behind the scenes of USC's NIL being problematic, and not that they don't have money, because by God, do they have more money than God, but who is getting into what? Meanwhile, Lincoln Riley is now doing what he probably should have done in the past, which is being quiet. While going out and hiring a bunch of high-level defensive coaches. I was talking to our guy, Bartu, and I asked him about USC's coaching hires, and he said he gave solid grades across the board for those guys. And so you have to at least go, there's a high ceiling bringing in UCLA's defensive coordinator. They bring in the coordinator from North Dakota State. They go and get the coordinator from Houston. So they bring a bunch of coordinators together, and they take lesser jobs at USC. And then it kind of becomes a hive mind. Is a decentralization of power problematic? I don't know. But I'll say, based on what I saw in this bowl game, they looked a lot more together, a lot more cohesive.
Right. Well, and based on what we saw from the rest of the season, they needed to try something different.
Yes. And it's interesting that they did go so far in this direction in this game. I also find it very interesting, and I've joked about it on Twitter a little bit, the fun thing about this is the Big Ten getting to see what quarterback play looks like. Like, this is what a backup quarterback in the Pac-12 looks like.
Yeah.
Enjoy Big Ten.
Yeah.
So,
well, this, and also a backup that's been there for a bit. He knows the system. You know what I mean? Or been there with Lincoln Riley, and he knows the system, and he had basically a month to prepare for this, right? And
sure.
And
he also knows the system, and he's been there with Lincoln for 2 years. So,
exactly.
Yeah, totally fair.
And against what we saw is, probably not a number 15 team in the country.
Yeah, Louisville team, which makes that Florida State win look a little dicier each time. Ugh.
And then you got somebody from Florida State saying if they finish as the only undefeated team, they should be.
Coming up next. That's exactly where I was going to go. I wanted to use that Louisville little tease there. The Florida State Seminoles will not go away, and by God, everyone wishes they would. They are now claiming they're using the UCF strategy, Jeff. Hey, we're undefeated.
Yeah.
We're power group of 5-ish.
Yeah.
Something.
Sorta.
We're national title winner.
Power 4.5.
Does Florida State have any ground to stand on? Should they be considered a national champion if they are the last undefeated standing from the power group 5 of the Big Five? Danny Nussey, today the Fan. Team in college football. Ladies and gentlemen, they have jumped the shark officially at Florida State. Let's be honest, they did that a long time ago.
Maybe down there is jumping the Gators.
Oh, there you go. We're jumping the Gators. I don't think the Seminoles would like that.
Well,
jump on a gator.
Well, you're not jumping on it; you're jumping over it. Fonzie didn't jump on the shark. He jumped over the shark on water skis.
So Brock Glenn is a third-string quarterback for Florida State. He said that they should absolutely be considered national champions if they end the season as the only undefeated Power 5 team in college football. The Orange Bowl is an awesome bowl, one of the best in the country, and we have a great opportunity in front of us playing. It's still a big game for us. If we're taking it serious, we're focused on the guys we have here to help us win the game. I have to take a quick little side story. I think it was Danny Cannell, Florida State quarterback, talking about Sebastian Janikowski and curfews. And he said that Bowden didn't have a rule for Janikowski. and that when he explained, he used some of that country charm to explain to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's from Poland. They don't have curfews there. Because his kicker was out getting absolutely S-can.
Right. How do you do that for your kicker?
Because he was the only kicker to ever be a first-round pick.
I mean,
Because he's a kicker who hits 70-yard field goals. He's a kicker who has the Raiders' all-time scoring record.
Yeah. All right.
He's also a kicker that could probably kick the crap out of everybody else on the team.
Well, yeah. But that's just, I mean, look, it's one thing if it's your star quarterback and he's out stealing crab legs.
Right?
But
God, they've Florida State has got to be a great school to play football at. Like, just, right?
I mean, it just means more down there. I know they're not in the SEC, but
I mean, like,
it's just, the
Bert
South, man, it's just different.
For those that know, Van Wilder, the movie, is actually a take on Bert Kreischer's life.
That's bananas.
He didn't even know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he told a story and it caught fire.
Right.
And it made its way to Hollywood, and like everything in Hollywood, it was stolen.
Yes.
He found out, I want to say a couple of years later, he's talked about this. But the idea of like what Florida State is, it seems like, that's the kind of school that would be like, you know what, we should be national champions.
Yeah.
We're not there, but we should, bro. We should.
We should.
Jeff, is there a world that exists? So your top four. Mm-hmm. So Michigan undefeated, Washington undefeated. Mm-hmm. They would both have to be upset.
Yes.
By Texas and Alabama.
Yes.
Okay. If Alabama beat Texas, then that would mean Texas and Alabama are 1-1 against each other.
Yes.
In that bat-ass crazy scenario where both favorites lose and then Texas-Alabama rematch, Alabama wins on the neutral field, does that make it a no-takesies and that's Florida State?
That's where you schedule another game between Alabama
You
and
hear
Florida
the glass
State.
break and, by God, that's Georgia's music. Yes, that.
Oh, man.
You just see Kirby Smart strutting down the ramp.
Like, it would never happen, but honestly, that would be a great way to do it.
Oh, dude, if we WWE'd this, you got to be kidding me.
It'd be fantastic.
Have Kirby Smart come out of the coffin.
Yeah.
Just full Undertaker. Referee disappears for a little while.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. If that happens and Alabama wins that 14 playoff and say Florida State wins, it'd be great to see. It won't ever happen, of course, but that'd be the way to settle it, right?
Vancouver Ford text line, if FSU goes undefeated, they'll put up a banner. That banner would be more than the Lakers in-season tournament banner. That from Deal. Vancouver Ford text line. All texts to the fan are via the Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes for the Vancouver Ford. They treat you right before, during, and after sale. Visit VancouverFord.com. 503-864-6326. If that absolutely crazy scenario, or any scenario, pops up, should FSU have any claim? Do we get co-national champions?
I mean, that's been the whole point of this playoff, though, so we don't have things like that happening anymore. Right?
Is that what we're doing here, Jeff?
I mean, that's what Florida State is trying to have happen.
Is that what we're doing here?
That's what Florida State's trying to do.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
They've tried the beg, borrow, steal route, which was like leading into the final voting.
Right.
Then they tried the saber rattling with politicians on both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
Weirdly enough.
You're right.
Both in the in-house state Senate and on the national level with governors.
Yep.
I mean, they really are they're ticking the boxes.
Yeah. Well, look, there's a reason why Florida Man is a well-known meme. There's a whole lot of bat-ass crazy going on down there.
I bet LSU has some thoughts on a quote-unquote shared national title with USC back in the day. They shared nothing. They shared nothing.
What? Or wasn't Washington's national title back in the day?
Yes, was
shared
it
with
91,
boy, I don't
92?
somewhere back then.
That's the last time they had anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, Husky fans. I'm not. I don't like. I know Duck fans. I know you guys have a thing with Washington. I don't really have any beef with Washington fans or Washington in general.
Well, it's because they're not your.
They're not.
They're not even your number 2 rival.
No, they're not.
They are doo-doo number 2, but
Sure, but I love their stadium. Love their stadium.
I've only been up there once.
Oh God,
And that was quite a while ago.
Sailgating is dope.
It was for a Seahawks Jaguars game back in the day at Husky Stadium.
Oh, at Husky.
When they were building, the
Lumen
Seahawks new
or
stadium.
whatever it is
Yeah,
now.
I think it's Lumen now. Yeah.
Whatever corporate sponsor stadium it is now.
It's a great setting for a football stadium.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I haven't been up there since they finished doing the last one. Dusty
Yeah.
was obviously up there for Oregon, Washington. He said it was the loudest stadium he's ever been in.
Which is crazy. That's saying something.
Yeah, Dusty's been in some stadiums. So, yeah, that's a little slight distraction. But yeah, if you think there's any way, shape, matter, or form that FSU should have any sort of claim, 503-864-6326. Let us know your thoughts on the Vancouver Ford text line, because I have a reeling suspicion that people are feeling a certain kind of way about it.
About Florida
FSU
State
claiming this,
Yeah.
because there's just no way,
Right.
right? Like
Right. It's participation trophy level stuff. It's just the butt hurt. You can't keep us out. Well, yes, can and did.
So it's 2017 that UCF beat Auburn, finished 13-0, and they said that the piece of that's ours. Is there any way that you can stop them from doing that?
I mean, this isn't like Steve Carell standing up and going, "I declare bankruptcy." That's not how it works. You don't just get to say it and make it happen.
I mean, we can though.
I mean, sure, give yourself a little WWE belt. Great. Go hang that up in your locker room and call yourself co-champs. Nobody else is going to.
But we can though.
Okay. No.
No?
No.
No, not gonna let that happen?
No.
Okay. We have things that were we've seen something on tape.
That's like the 2 teams that get left out in the NBA's in the play-in games.
They're playoff teams.
Yeah, saying, "Well, hey, but you know what? But we beat these guys in the regular season. Why should this one game count more now?" That they don't. I mean, it just.
There's gonna be something violently stupid that comes out of this because Florida's involved.
Yeah.
I should say Florida State is involved.
Yes.
In the greater state.
The state of Florida.
There you go.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Florida State and the state of Florida are involved, and I have a reeling suspicion. I guess this is a nice tease to head into our next segment as we do a little bit more bowl teasing. Is there a world that exists where either Michigan or Washington or both are upset and we get that Texas and Alabama matchup heading into bowl season?
I don't think I see Michigan losing.
No matter what.
Yeah, I don't think I see Michigan losing to.
The power of milk. The power of milk compels them.
So it's Michigan, Bama, and then Washington and Texas. Yeah. I mean, God, now that I say that, I'm like, fine, it is still Alabama. It's like betting against the Patriots when Tom Brady was still there.
Playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Playing pretty well.
Well, man, you got to. I mean, it's if they don't succeed on 4th and 31, they're also not there. So I mean, let's face it, their season kind of came down to a single play there. That wasn't just that game. I mean, yeah, I guess I could see it where they both lose. But still, look, and the Florida State and the ACC need look no further than the Pac-12 for precedent.
Yes, we've seen this before.
Yes, and so did Pac-12 teams that got left out they thought unfairly? Did they go to legislators to cry foul and try to pass legislation and file lawsuits and such? No, they did not, because they know there's a process, and The process
And
spits
our
out what it
drinking
spits
water
out.
isn't tainted.
That too.
This final thought here on the Vanguard Ford text line on this one. FSU would be an underdog in Vegas against all four college football, all four college playoff teams. Case closed.
Yeah.
Honestly, with Jordan Travis healthy, they might still be,
Yeah.
which kind of makes this whole thing kind of moot, right?
I mean, it's
They would make it in.
And without him, they're double-digit underdogs to all of them.
With him healthy, they're in the college football playoff. We all know that. But are they favored against anybody,
Yeah.
even though they're undefeated?
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, it's like one texter a few minutes ago said Liberty is undefeated too. Give them the natty if they beat Oregon. Well, no, we're told all the time it's about level of competition too and strength of schedule. And
You know
who
what?
play.
I hope everything does go sideways and it's Florida State and Liberty are both the undefeateds and that's our national title winners. just to piss everyone off.
Lord.
And no, I'm not taking that as a shot at you, Duck fans. I'm just talking about like somebody's going to take that the wrong way. I already know that. I'm not saying that the Liberty should beat Oregon because I want Oregon to lose. Calm down. All right. It's Thursday, but we are going to revisit NFL action from this weekend because, well, we haven't been here. We'll get to that and more. Can be here on Danny Nesty, 1080 The Fan.